Am I the only one who feels like the early spring patterns just dropped? Like now we're already at Vogue spring collection. I'm still sewing for winter. Hi, I'm Tiffany of Tip Stitch and welcome to my channel where we discuss all things sewing and DIY. So we are going to take the opportunity in this video to talk about all of the new Vogue releases and one very special one that seems to be listed as an early spring pattern, but I feel like it just came out with this drop. So without further ado, let's start with that one. So first up, even though on the website this is actually listed under the early spring patterns, we have the DVF Wrap Dress 50th year edition. So if you're not familiar with the Diane von Furstenberg wrap dress, either you're way too young or I don't know where you've been, but Diane van Furstenberg is the person who like basically made wrap dresses be a thing. And I love a wrap dress. So of course I'm forever grateful to her. But this is the 50th year of this iconic dress. They actually dedicated this whole web page on the site to the history of the creation of the dress. So you should scroll through this and read a little bit more about it. They're going to tell you everything about the features of the dress that make the DVF dress like really the classic DVF dress, and that's the collar with the tie that you can do on the side and the back, the full length sleeves, you can add a cuff. Like this was a very popular look. This dress dropped in like 1974 and literally just took over everything because it was a knit dress. It fit well on everybody. It flattered every body type. So this re-release is a big deal. I feel like I am going to probably have to like pay full price and order this off the website because I can't imagine being able to find this in stores, even though I hope that I can. And I haven't bought a Vogue pattern in a while, but I will definitely be getting this. Let's take a look at the actual pattern. So if you go to the pattern page, this is what you'll see after you get off that promotion page. And this just tells you a little bit more about all the details of the dress here. You have it modeled by quite a few models in like a very classic black and white, another very classic print in all black, which is just timeless, and a floral, which, you know, I'm not a huge fan of florals, but on this I can let it go. These are some retro photos of the dress back in the day. Of course, I love a red wrap dress. Oh my God. Anyway, if y'all can't tell, I'm excited about this. I don't know that everybody's going to be excited as I am, but I'm excited and I want this pattern. Like I have a lot of wrap dress patterns and I said I wasn't going to buy anymore. And I don't even know that this is going to be that much different than any other wrap dress that I have, but I'm definitely grabbing this regardless. So you can see here that you have the two lengths. You also have the version with the collar or not the collar, but both versions have the cuff with the button, which I think is super cute. So this, for some reason, is falling under, I don't know if you can see here, it falls under early spring. It is V2000 because I guess they just wanted it to kick off and have a very clean number. So I definitely will be getting this and I advise you to grab it as well. All right, moving on, we have 2001, and y'all know that I'm not a huge fan of the vintage or the retro patterns. So this one doesn't excite me, but it is a 1941's piece. I feel like this will be appropriate for one of the frocktails, so maybe grab it for that. It's just not my style. You have a lot going on here. You can look at sort of the sketches, they're not really line drawings for this dress. It does have a very interesting detail with the V and the gathers that are there, like the little cap sleeve, but this just, y'all know me, this is just not something that I would buy, make, or wear. Now for 2002, even though I just said what I said, I actually think this is a little cute. This is from the 50s, which is more my style if I'm going to do something retro, the 50s or the 70s. And so I think this is really cute. I still very doubt that I would make it. I don't see myself buying it, but I do like the little caplet version. I think that's super cute. And I think that the twirly big circle skirt is just always fun. I don't care what decade it is. I like the straps in the back. I like the option of the cape. The cape actually just buttons on to the straps that you have here in the front. So I think that's sort of like a cute detail. I love it in the stripe fabric because y'all know I love to play with stripes and the directional lines. Again, you don't really have a line drawing. You just have this sketch. So this is super cute. It's just not something I would still buy or wear. But if there was a themed event, maybe. If I had an hourglass figure, like I look like a woman from the 50s, also maybe. But this just isn't for me. Although this one I actually do think is cute. There is a third retro pattern here, 2003, and it is again from the 50s, which again, I prefer to the first one that was from the 40s. The thing that takes me away from this one is the petticoat, because I'm not wearing anything that requires a petticoat. I'm not into period pieces like that. I'm about comfort. But if that's your style, I can definitely see this very cute. It has a nice wide neckline, which I do like for these very formal looks. And it comes in a couple of different lengths, but let's see if they show it. I like here on view B this very wide neckline with the tiny little straps. Like a very delicate detail that I think is very cute. It's also cute in the longer sleeves for cooler weather. The short sleeves actually looks more period, like more 1950 to me, especially with that pillbox hat. But I think that this could be a very cute look even for today. I just don't think that it's something that I would wear because, again, to get that full look, you're going to have to make this petticoat. And I'm not making it. And more importantly, I'm not wearing it. Let's see, view B, they must mean view, yeah, view A, this wider version of the petticoat. Like, look at how, I think they have view A and B switched. What am I looking at? I don't know. Either way, this is a lot of yardage, and I'm not doing all this ruffling and gathering, and I'm not wearing this under a dress. I can't. I'm not. No, we've been freed from that. But I think this is a very beautiful dress. I just don't think that I have a use for it. If ever I was going to some type of ball that required a vintage gown or where I just wanted to be different, I could definitely see making that. I just don't see that happening in my life. All right, now we are moving on to present new releases. This is going to be 2004. Now, while I think this dress is super cute on the model, especially view A, because y'all know I love a short dress, the longer one is cute too. The thing for me about this dress is not that I don't like it, it's that I'm probably not going to sew it. This is going to be a lot of work. And y'all know sometimes I'm a lazy sewist, okay? So this is a lot of trim work. This is a fully lined dress. The longer view, I think, has traditional collared sleeves. So you got a cuff and a placket and a button and all that kind of stuff. I like the look. I don't like this fabric as much. I like the shorter one better. But I could see this being a really cute dress, and I could even see myself wearing it. I just don't see myself sewing it. Let's look at the line drawings. I like that it has a raglan sleeve. I even like sort of the billow knee-ish and the largeness of the scale of the sleeve. It's more so having to do the dress itself plus the lining plus the trim that just seems like a lot of work to me. But it's a very cute dress. I like it a lot. It gives me whimsy and flirty and feminine and all of that, but I just don't see myself making it, so I won't likely be buying it. Of course, I always reserve the right to change my mind, but I just know me and the laziness in me thinks it's cute, but would probably never make it. And I'm trying to do better about not buying patterns that I'm not going to make. 2005 is not my style, and I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to put that out there. So the thing that I don't like about this dress is it looks very House on the Prairie to me. It's giving me pioneer vibes. It's giving me, peasant. But I don't know. It's something about this very square neck with the ruffles. That's what's really losing me here. It just looks like I'm supposed to be milking a cow. I don't know how to describe it. It's not. I'm not a fan. Now, it's not that I don't think the dress isn't cute. I think other people could pull it off. It's just not a dress that I want to make. And see, it's even the back. I feel like there is a picture of me, and I'm going to try to find it somewhere as a child with a dress that looked very similar to this. It's giving me Victorian era vibes, and that's just not the vibes that I'd be trying to give off. It's not that it's not cute. It's just not for me. We can look at the line drawing here, but you pretty much can see all this detail in the dress. You're going to have a lot of ruffling around the neck. It wraps around to the back. It's not a square neck, but this like collar piece gives you a very squared off feel. So I don't know. This Vogue minus the DVF release is not starting off too well for me. Let's continue. Here we go again with another square neck, but this time you're not giving me pioneer in the 1800s, you're giving me the 1980s, and I'm not a fan. I've said before in previous videos, I don't know why we keep on trying to bring these decades back, especially the 80s and 90s. This is giving me big shoulders, like the shoulder pads of the 80s. It is also giving me like you know, she can make the bacon and come home a fried in a pan vibes. Like it's giving me very 1980s I am woman, hear me roar vibes, and I'm not here for it. The peplum is sort of cute. The pencil skirt is cute because the pencil skirt is always cute. But I'm not liking the square neck. I like the square neck of A better than I do B. Let's fast forward through some of these pictures. It also may be that this is a better color. Oh, and no, I actually don't like it more. Let's look at the line drawing because I thought that that had not the collar and this did, but it looks like here it's just a contrasting color, whereas there it was not. So let's move on to the line drawings. Let's scroll on. Oh, no, yep, see, it's just contrasted here. It's here regardless. I'm not a fan of this. You have the cuff sleeved or the long sleeve. Now, there is somebody out here who is going to put this together and look hotter than Julia Sugarbaker or one of the Golden Girls. But this, I don't need this back in my life. I'm gonna pass on this. I was too young for it the first time, and I'm just not interested this time. So we're gonna keep going. For 2007, it's actually a little bit difficult to see what we're looking at. So instead of looking at the pictures first, let's look at the line art first. You are looking at a very basic but good blouse with both a flipped up collar, a flipped up cuff in the shorter length sleeve and a traditional pleated, cuff in this sleeve. So a nice basic blouse. I do like the fact that this one has a yoke. This one does not. I'm not typically a fan of blouses that don't have yokes, so I don't know why they would do this, but anyway, I guess they just want to give you the option. And then you have a box pleated, I think these are box pleats, skirt in both like a midi and a maxi length. And that's cute. But there's nothing special about this. So yeah, it just says that it has a pointed collar, set-in sleeves, bust darts. That's everything that you would have in a blouse. And then you have loose fitting skirts that have waist pleats and invisible seam. Yeah. So there's nothing really amazing about either one of these to me. I already have a box pleated skirt pattern and I already have several blouse patterns. So I'll be passing on this one, but I could definitely see why somebody would in fact grab this. And I do like how they give you both views on this pattern front actually, where you can see it as two separates that are dressed up here in almost like a semi-formal type look. And you can see it though it's two pieces, how this looks like a dress almost. So I like that they're giving you better like photographs here, but I will still be passing on this pattern just because I have similar designs in my stash already. Okay, Vogue is back to cooking with gas. This 2008 I like. I always love a nice satin slip dress cut on the bias, like it's very slinky. It's not exactly the most appropriate thing for my body type right now, but it doesn't matter. I think that they are super cute. I have bought a couple of them. I just haven't made them because again, yeah. But I really like this one. One, because I always love a halter neck, and this has a halter neck and that look of a bias cut slip dress without the skinny little sleeves. I guess in this, technically, you still have to worry about a bra situation, but you could do a halter bra, you could do a strapless bra, and I feel like that would just be easier to work with than with those slip dresses. There's almost nothing that you can wear under them besides, like, pasties. But I love this. I think it helps that the model has on this lovely chartreuse color because I am always a fan of this color. And we will look at the line drawing, but I love this V detail. You have like an upward V on the front and a downward V on the bottom. Again, we'll look at it a little bit more on the line drawing. I love this very like thick, stately stand-up neck, like halter neck that you have here that ties in the back with these super long ties that are very dramatic. So like again, I have nowhere to wear this. Like I'm not going anywhere, y'all. Maybe to a Frocktails. Like I don't know where I'm going to wear this, but I do think this is super cute. And you can see here on the line drawing a little bit better that V detail that I was talking about in the front and the back. So I don't need this dress and I'm probably not going to get it, but I do think that it is super cute and one of the cuter items that they have in this release, at least so far. Let's keep looking. I'm going to be honest here. I have mixed feelings about this dress. On first impression, I was like, I don't like it. But what do I always say? Look closer, right? When I looked closer, even before I got to the line drawing, to just the pattern, the envelope cover, I realized that I actually do quite like this bust. Like this gather detailed on the bra cups, the bust cups here is very cute and I like this. And then I like the way that they color blocked it because I do love red and a hot pink together. I don't know why. I'm not usually a pink girly, but when you combine it with red, it makes it better. So I like this look, and maybe it's because I know that Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I'm liking this color pairing. But if I'm being honest, I would probably make this without the sleeves because let's look. Like, hold on, let me give you the rest of the pictures, right? So you have this, it has nice side slits, it has a fit and flare kind of skirt. You have the fisheye darts in the back so you can really hone in that fit. And then of course you have the back of the pattern envelope. But let's go ahead and look at the line art a little bit more closely. Like if you can imagine this without the sleeves. Let's take that away. I think that is really cute and just like a sexy little dress. Like, I don't know. I like that, I think, better than I do with the sleeves itself. And that's sad because I do like a statement sleeve. Um, but I actually think I like this better without the sleeve. And I don't really think that has anything with the color blocking. The color blocking actually makes me like it more because if it was just in red, I think I also wouldn't like it. I don't know. I could definitely see it going either way, but if I were to make this dress, I think I would make it sleeveless. Now, I don't know what modifications I would have to make to the pattern to make that happen, but I would actually probably lose the sleeves here. But I think this is a very cute dress. Of course, it's a Badgley Mischka. She usually has really great options. I just, again, don't need this fancy of a dress. So I'm going to prove that I am a sucker for a halter because I love this. And I mean, I just got finished saying how I do not need any of these semi-formal, formal style dresses. And I said on 2009 that I loved the halter look. And apparently I do because I love this look. This high halter with this deep plunge going to the back, like all this exposed back. Very cute, very cute. Now, I am not a bow person, so I could do without these bows on the back. But, you know, they're very minimal. They don't like hang. They're not like that kind of bow. So I can sort of get behind it. It looks a little bit more casual in this print that they have here. It looks very formal in this black, like satin shantung uh, fabric here with the train, right? This in white could even be a bridal gown, like, you know, for a more contemporary bride. Um, so I don't know. I do think this is super cute. Again, a pattern that I do not need and probably will never wear. And for that reason, likely won't buy. But it is a very cute dress. You can see here on the line drawing where all the details are. So this would be very easy to take in because you have princess seams in the front and the back to fit you just as snugly as you want it to here. If you're a person who doesn't like your back out, of course, you're not going to be a fan of this. I'm sure I could also take these buttons off, I mean, these bows off and just add like a nice button here, like a brooch-like button. I think that would be very cute too. I'm also sure that there's a way that you could modify this for to tie it, but you probably wouldn't want to tie it because then you would distract from the bows here on the back. But either way, I think that this is a very cute look. And I would certainly wear it. It's just a pattern that I don't need. So we're going to put it in that pile. I like it, but absolutely don't need it. All right, here we're back to more like everyday wear type of options. This is going to be a top that has two variations that again are going to be very similar. There are a lot of ruffles here. It's going back to giving me a little bit of Little House on the Prairie. I actually do prefer this print that they used on view B a little bit more than I prefer this eyelet that they have here on view A. We can look through the rest of these. So view A is going to have like this sleeve that stops at the elbow. In view B is going to have this longer sleeve, of course, that comes all the way down to the wrist with the cuffs. They've paired it with pants and a pair of shorts. This is a pattern that I don't hate, but I certainly don't love. And I despise is a strong word. I just don't love doing a lot of gathers, and this is a lot of gathers just for a top. It's also probably more fullness than I want to wear at any given time. But I could definitely see it being somebody's style and them making it really cute. It's just not a pattern that's going to be for me. As much as I don't wear them, I typically like a good blouse, but this Vogue 2012 just isn't particularly speaking to me, even with this lovely version of A, which is a color block, because I usually stand for a color block and stripes, but for some reason, neither one of these are really speaking to me. You can see here that they have these flanges along the sleeve, which again, I'm usually a fan of flanges. Look at Nefertiti's, no, it was Marcia's 2054 from Nomi that has the flange on the sweatshirt that I absolutely love. But I don't like it here. It just makes everything look a bit boxy. It doesn't come out enough. Like you can barely even tell there's the flange on the stripe version. It doesn't come out enough to give you an accent. Of course, you could modify that and do a little bit more with it, but I'm not 100% sure that I even want it on a blouse. They're just not selling it to me. It's still giving me those 80 vibes of like trying to do the big shoulder pad action. And I don't want to bring shoulder pads and big shoulders back. Like I don't want that. Some people might, and that's great. Y'all should grab this pattern, but I don't want to bring that back. You can see the flanges here on the line drawings a little bit better. I probably should have placed my head somewhere else, but yeah, you can see that here a little bit clearer. It's a very classic blouse, I guess, in every other way. The button placket here is hidden, which is, I think, is nice. It's a clean look, but I am just not a huge fan of the styling overall of this blouse. So definitely be passing it on it. I have a bit of split feelings on 2013. So this is a skirt pattern, so ignore the top. You're going to have this longer full length skirt and then this knee length more like pencil skirt. Now, where I'm sort of conflicted is I don't think I would ever wear the longer skirt, but this shorter skirt is cute, but I have quite a few pencil skirts already, even some that have some button details. But I like how this is double breasted, I guess. It is, can it be that on a skirt? Like I like how you have the double rows of buttons, and I like this really huge welt here that they have for the pockets. I really think that stands out. You lose it a bit here, but not because of the longer length. It's more because of the color. The other one is the pattern, so it sticks out a little bit more. I'm also not a huge fan of the godettes, that they have in this skirt. I think you pronounce the T on that, godettes. Um, but I do like the shorter version, especially in this tweed with like one of those cute little Coco Chanel style jackets. I think that could be really cute. So I like it. I just don't know that I like it enough to buy the pattern because again, I would probably only make the shorter skirt. Let's look at it in a line drawing. I would probably only make the shorter skirt, and what really stands out to me are just these huge welts here for the pockets. I think that's really what I like here. This longer length, I just, mm, I'm just not as impressed. I mean, it's very beautiful. It's very full. That's what the godettes do. Godettes, or however you say it, that's definitely what that does. But I am not. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the longer length, but I would make View A. I don't know that View A is worth buying the pattern though. That's what I have to decide. The pants here in 2014 actually remind me of the recently released Butterick pants that are 6973, except for those are wide and fuller, but they have the same pleat detail. Let's look at the line drawings here first. It has the same sort of pleated detail here in the front. The difference with that one is it has double darts in the back and it has a curved waistband, whereas this has a very straight waistband. These, I think, are very classic looking pants. You have the welt pocket in the back. You have, looks like 3 pleats on each side. In the front, you're going to have a fly zip in the slash pockets. I especially love the cuff on the shorts and on the pants. I think that's very cute. I don't think that I want this pattern because if I am going to have a pleated pant, I typically want it to be wider leg, whereas this isn't slim leg, but it's more like a straight leg. And I would never really wear shorts this length, especially with pleats. But while the pants are cute and I love the fact that they're high-waisted, I think I'm going to pass on these, but I could definitely see a lot of people making these. They could be a very great go-to pant if you need slacks. This is a very nice pattern. It just happens to be one that I'm going to pass on. Y'all, the 80s keep calling. They keep calling, and here we are again. Look at these wide, wide, wide shoulders with shoulder pads. They even say it right here. Shoulder pads. Like, why? Why are we bringing this back? But anyway, let's go ahead and look at it, y'all. This is giving us shoulder pad 80s I'm every woman kind of vibes here. They dress it up here in this faux leopard print. That's sort of cute. I do sort of like the trim that they put here on the collar. Can you see that? Let's zoom in. I'm sort of feeling that. Like that's cute. I like that they did it in like this tweed brocade kind of tweed fabric here with the zipper. This one allows for the button, so at least they give you options. You have the patch front pocket. Like, so it's not all bad. It really isn't. I think I'm not loving the shoulder action here. I would be more likely to go with the Butterick 6979 because it is a similar designed princess seam jacket, but it lacks like the bigness in the shoulders. So you can see it even here. It's giving you very 80s mom corporate vibe. But overall, the pattern is cute. I don't want to encourage them to bring this decade back. It continues. It continues. Here we are, still stuck in the 80s. And then they had the audacity to put the pink in the green. Some of y'all know what I mean. Anyway, I don't know what we're doing here, people. I'm sure that there are plenty of people who want the 80s to come back. I don't know who they are. But apparently they're at Simplicity Vogue's office because here we are. Like look at how huge. Look at how huge we have here. This tiny waist and these tiny little legs, and we have these huge shoulder action going on here. I mean, I get it. But no. Um, yeah, if I had to pick, I think I would go with the green one, which I think is view B. I don't know, it might be view A because at least I like the fact that this is curved. It's a little softer here on the bottom versus the very pointy points. Oh, sorry, versus the very pointy points that we have here on this view. But this is just a no for me. With the skinny pants or the like straight leg pants, I don't need this wide back in my life. I'm wide enough up top. I don't need to add more, but let's go ahead and look at these line drawings so y'all can see it. Here we go again. Slightly extended shoulders plus the shoulder pads. This is a lot. A lot to put into your shoulders. Now, I was all for the flanges and the decorative and the poofiness on the shoulder, but just like wideness and broadness for the sake of broadness, I'm not a fan. Now, I do love this collar. Like this pointed collar is giving me like Miami Vice, like again, the 80s vibes, but I'm sort of here for that. I don't want the shoulder pads. And maybe the points don't bother me as much when I see it here in the line drawing. I don't know. The point is, either way, I'm not making this jacket. Now, it does have lovely details. You can see that you have this seam, then you have an extra seam here on the side. Same thing from the front, so you can really, really define that waist. Now, I don't really have a waist, so that's not gonna work for me anyway. But like, if you do, if like you have that hourglass figure, this is really gonna like bring it home. It really will. I just am not a fan of, like you see right here, hourglass. There is for you. I'm not a fan. I'm sure someone's gonna make it. It's gonna be great. I'm just absolutely not a fan of this, and I would rather y'all keep bringing the 90s back than to bring back some of this fashion from the 80s. Please and thank you. Now, someone may have to correct me here. This 2017 is also giving me sort of 80s vibes. Like, I feel like my mother had a suit with this square neck. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't mind this as much because it's not as in your face, right? I don't like it here with the raw edge, but that's just how I feel about that in general. I don't mind it at the bottom. I just don't like it at the neck. Anyway, my point is, this could work. Like, I could see this working. Not probably for me, but I could see this working for someone. The jacket sort of cropped, or you can go with the longer jacket. They also give you the option here of the below the knee pencil skirt and this cropped pant. I've already said how I feel about cropped pants. They're just not for people my height. But let's go down and look at these line drawings. Again, you're going to have this sort of cropped version. Princess seams means easy to fit. Little dart in the bust. I do actually like the square neck. And this is like a split sleeve. There's an extra seam there. You also can do the longer, go over your hip version. It gives you the option of like the raw edge. If you make it with like a tweed, you have the welt pockets on the jacket. Not sure if they're real or fake. And welt pockets, so I think they're real. And then you have a very simple pencil skirt that, like I said, goes below the knee. And these cropped flared pants. Now, I'm not a fan of cropped flared pants, but I could see how this would work. It has the fly front, the darts in the back for fitting. Like, there's nothing, again, wrong with this one. It's a little bit of a throwback, but not as much. I'm not going to get on board, but I could definitely see why you would. We have another suit here in Vogue 2018. This one has a peplum sort of feature on the blazer, as you can see here, and then you have an option for slim pants or sort of a flared skirt here. So let's take a look at these line drawings first, and we can come back up to the pictures. Again, here you can see the blazer has this like flared feature here. It has, I did look it up, it has godettes or godet. Apparently it can be said both ways. Here in the back, which gives it that peplum, which gives me personally like that whole Ralph Lauren horse riding vibe. Like, I don't know, I feel like when you sit on the horse and you have like that part that's like goes up. Anyway, that's the vibe that it gives me, like I should be riding the horse. And then the skirt again has the godettes in here, three in the front, three in the back, to give it that fuller look. So apparently godettes are in style as well. I didn't know. And then you have like this slim foot pant that has a couple of darts in the front and the back to give it a little bit more shaping. And you have a side zip, so no fly here, with a button crossover on the waistband. Again, there's nothing really wrong with this pattern. I could see someone desiring to make it. I wonder how many people nowadays wear suits. Maybe that's just not my area. Because like most offices have moved sort of casual, or many people are working from home, but I'm sure there's still a large population that needs a suit for something. So Vogue is definitely giving them to us in this collection. Now we've sort of made a drastic turn into lounge sets. This one is by Marcy Tilton. This is interesting to me because it's going to have like this tunic top and two lengths of pants. I don't think that they made them in the best of fabrics for this pattern envelope. So we're just going to look through those real quickly. Okay, we saw them. Let's scroll down to the exit. Let's scroll down to the line drawings. Here we can see that you have a very traditional tunic with the facing that's stitched here. Like, this is a very traditional tunic vibe, and then you have it over some elastic pull-on pants. My problem with this pattern is that I already have a good tunic pattern. You know, maybe you don't. So I think the tunic in itself is fine. I can actually see the tunic in the right fabric, not what they used for this pattern cover, being cute over a pair of skinny jeans or ponte pants or leggings or whatever, because I like a tunic. I could see how this could work. These pull-on pants though are just very predictable, and there's nothing special about them. I don't like that the longer pair isn't a full length and that this shorter pair is even more cropped. I would have preferred a full length and a crop, which of course we all know you can extend that to the length that you want very easily. They're just loose fitting pants. But I don't love this. To me, this just isn't very Vogue like. Um, I I don't know. I just don't get it. If I'm going to be in elastic pants and just like a simple top, I would rather just put on like an oversized tee that I made with matching bottoms. Like, I would prefer to just keep it simple than to go this route. Or I would prefer more dressy pajamas, like a button up satin pajamas, like the Closet Core, I think it's Carolyn or Butterick makes a nice button-up pattern. I wouldn't pick this, but that's just me. There's nothing wrong with it. Looks quite cozy. It's a great way to be like a little bit more cute at home in case someone stops by or you got to take a package or something like that. It's cute. It's just not outstanding. Vogue 2020 is a lounge pattern that I get a little bit more. Here we're going to have a very lovely robe, right? I mean, a robe is sort of a robe, but I like the drama in the sleeve, right? I like how they styled it here. In like B and D on this side definitely look more like stay at home, Blanche Devereaux, let me go to my boudoir, right? Whereas this one actually looks like you might be going outside your house. So I like that they're showing the versatility of that here. You can see as you go through the patterns that it actually has this split sleeve, which I think is very fancy. Like, I could actually see in the right fabric you wearing this view out. Like, it's cute. This is just because they've added the lace and stuff that makes you think bedtimey. I also wouldn't pair this longer one with pants to wear out. So this would be more like lounging around the house for me personally. But I could actually see this as being like a loose take on a suit for an event. So I could actually see, I could see that. Let's take a look at these line drawings. You can see here that you have the split sleeve on the shorter sleeve view, and that it comes with a separate tie. And then on this one, you have the closed sleeve, but they add the detail of the lace trim at the end that is obviously optional. And then you have a very structured pant for something that they're considering loungewear. Like if you come back up here, they consider it a lounge top, robe, and pants. I don't know that I am putting in double pleats and back darts with a waistband and a fly zipper for lounge pants. These are go outside pants. These are go outside pants. They actually really look very similar to the Butterick pants that I mentioned before. I think they're 6979 or 73. Hold on. 6973. They look very familiar to those. The difference between those is it has a contoured waistband, like I mentioned, and there's an additional dart in the back. But other than that, this is very similar. I'm not putting a fly zip in pants to wear around my house. Pants I wear around my house have elastic in them. Anyway, I do think that if you wanted to wear the more like I'm about to go outside look, that is worth putting in the effort. If you are just going to wear it around the house, I would substitute these for a pair of pull-on pants and wear the robe and call it a day. The other thing that I wish that they would include in this pattern, regardless of whether I was going to wear it inside or outside, is a nice tank or camisole. Because where am I wearing this to with nothing underneath it? I would like a nice easy top. It wouldn't take much effort. They could recycle one from another pattern. I'm not really sure why you're not giving me at least a little cute, simple front and back tank top or camisole. But other than that, I think it's cute. I do think you could wear this out or you could wear it in. I just don't know why I would put this much effort into pants I'm just gonna wear around my house. That's the problem. 2021 is proving to me that I think Vogue was having a little bit of an identity crisis with this spring release. We have the very classic DVF dress coming back. We have a lot of throwbacks to the 80s. Then we have a lot of stuff that's sort of modern. And then you give me this. I'm not sure what this is, right? Um, I'm not sure what this is. I'm usually all for an asymmetrical hem or a one shoulder something. I am. But there's something about this I don't like. I don't know if it's how on this view B, how this looks like it's catching on the side. Like I think this slit maybe needs to come up a little bit more. I don't know exactly what I'm not liking here. I definitely don't like it with the pants. It's a little bit too long to be with the pants. I also don't like it without the pants though. I definitely don't like this lace trim at the front. I'm not understanding this pattern. Like I wanted to come on and say that I could see it as like a cover up for, the beach or something. Or again, like a modern take on a caftan to wear around the house. But I really don't feel like I can say yes to either one of those. The pants, slash pockets on the front, elastic back. There's nothing wrong with the pants. They're just very basic and a lot of different patterns. But I'm just not understanding what we're going for here. I'm confused. I'm just confused. As usual, they saved one men's pattern for last, and this is 2022. It is, the men I always feel bad for. They don't give them a lot. If you want to stick to heteronormal standards, you don't have a lot. You have tops, you have bottoms, you have jackets. Like that's it. You got long sleeve, short sleeve, jackets, coats, shorts, and pants. They don't give them a lot to work with. And there's nothing wrong with this pattern. We'll take a look at it. There's nothing wrong with this pattern. You just have a very simple like shirt jacket here paired with large patch pockets, right? Or more like a cargo pocket. This has patch pockets. And then you have a short with cargo pockets and then a pants with a slant pocket. Let's look at the line drawings to see more details here. Here you have the larger like cargo pocket here. And then on view B, you have just a patch, like sort of double chested pocket. And then you have a cargo short, which is interesting that they didn't put the cargo pockets on the pants, but of course, you could, that's optional. And then you have a very, traditional sort of pant on this side. I mean, again, it's the men's pattern. There's not a lot to work with here. There's nothing wrong with it. I could definitely see the guys killing this with their fabric choice and how they decide to style it. So there, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just always sad that they just throw them like one pattern a season, and that's Vogue. They don't all even have a men's pattern every season. So this is nice. It's a good place to start. I actually like the jacket with the cargo pocket. Like I could definitely see these as being really practical makes. It's just they don't give a lot to work with, and that's sort of sad. Anyway, that is it for Vogue. To me, this release was a little bit all over the place. We had some retro patterns, some 80s throwbacks, and some things that are recent to now. You also had some really casual lounge pieces and then some very formal gowns. So it seems like it's a bit all over the place. But the good news about that is there's certainly going to be one or two patterns that you like because they spanned a lot here. Let me know which patterns you're going to be grabbing in the comments below, and happy sewing!